morning from Ferdinand State Forest. It is already 9:30 fast time here and 80 degrees out here. I should have gotten an earlier start, but I didn't. And so today, let's just say I'm probably going to be hiking record pace today. I'm going to get started. I'm going to try again to tackle the fire tower. I do have a slight fear, I'm not going to lie, of man-made structures, especially fire towers. And the last time I was here, it was super windy, and I want to say 3/4 of the way up, but let's be honest, I got scared. So today, I'm going to shoot for the entire way up the fire tower, because I know I'm going to encounter a lot of them on the AT. And I want to be able to tackle them on the 8th. Oh, I guess we're the first on the trail because we're silk blazing. All of the spiders are greeting me today. Hello, spiders. Great. And you know what? This is the spider's home. So what right do I have to complain at all about their webs getting in my face? I mean, seriously, this is their home, and they are just allowing me to walk through it. So thank you, spiders. Thank you. And sorry I'm knocking down your home with my face. So there's that. Double check because it didn't look like I was on a trail anymore. It looked like I was on a fire road. And I was right. Even though my map says I'm on the road, I gotta get back on the trail. Fire tower 1.3. Here we go. Ooh, mud. I mean, look at these trails. So nice. What? I mean, I have my poles. Do I need my poles? Well, for the spiders. But that's it. I may be eating these words later, but for now, yes. Thank you, Ferdinand. Thank you, trail maintainers. Here we go. Gosh, it's beautiful out here. All alone in this dark, hot wilderness, which some might say should be another fear of mine. Is it? I'll talk more about that in a bit. Okay, I finally hit part of the trail, which I actually remember, and I'm going to use my trekking pole. So I'm going to turn on my new camera that one of my besties, who I actually call one of my sisters, was super generous and got for me, which I'm very humbled by. I actually asked if I could borrow her GoPro for when I and up in some of the sketchy sections up in the whites, and for when I am going to be up on Katahdin, because I'm going to need to be hands-free because I'll be bouldering and doing stuff like that. And she said, sure, absolutely. And then that beautiful person that she is surprised me and got me something which I do not deserve. And so I'm practicing with it now, and super excited about it, and like I said, humbled. And so here we go. I'm using it now. It's a DJI Osmo Pro something. Oh gosh, I'll put the details on it, but She's a beautiful person inside and out, and she's that beautiful that she would not want me to mention her name. But anyway, you know who you are, and I love you, and I am so thankful. So here we go. I'm gonna do some sketchy stuff. This is for you, my beautiful friend. And as always, video does not show exactly how amazingly sketchy it is. So I hiked this trail about 6 months ago, and I guess I've been doing a lot of training since then, because I remembered that as being hard and sketchy, and maybe I'm just remembering a different part, or maybe I've just been training. I don't know, we'll see, but I hope that I've just been growing, because that did make me feel better, knowing that that wasn't as difficult as I thought it once was. Gosh, I'm hoping for the first part and not for the latter. Gosh, I'm hoping that for when I get to the fire tower. I'm praying that hard. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you this really cool tree and its roots that fell over. And I'll use the new camera with that. Look at that. That's pretty insane. And here we go, up the fire tower. What the? That just scared me to death. What kind of birds are those? Oh my gosh. Can I climb you, or are you going to get mad at me if I climb? Is there a nest up there? Are we good? So like I'm literally getting ready to walk up this fire tower, and a whole flock of, couldn't tell what kind of birds they are, hawks. I don't think they were eagles. That would have been just too cool if they would have been. I don't think so. Just all of a sudden just fly off this tower, and I think they're all off of it. I just don't want them attacking me as I start climbing up there. I just hope there's no nest up there, because that would be tragic. Okay. New fear unlocked. This bird poop. darn birds were. And I don't want to go any further. I'm at the top. But that's where that bird was. But I gotta turn around. Alright. Got to the top. As the Kool-Aid man would say, oh yeah. Conquered that one. Ouch. I have to check for ticks real good after this. Okay, this road, there may be a reason that I have to take this road. Maybe the trail has a lot of trees down or something. But you can't tell, but my lungs can tell. This road has had a lot of hills. And I haven't done any hiking, my own fault, since Glacier and Yellowstone. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it this morning. And I'm sure the humidity has something to do with it. And maybe the idea that I'm trying to hike as fast as I can to beat the heat and the humidity. But I'm feeling it this morning. Okay, pressing on. I don't know what kind of spider that is. Switching trails. The first water I've seen. Starting to see glimpses of the lake. Well, how about that? How about that? I know I talked about doing another small loop, but I don't think I can. I mean, I could filter some more water from that lake, but I don't know how to get to that lake. So I think I'm probably going to stop and maybe talk a little bit about some of my fears when I get to that shelter. So, almost done, but it is hot. I guess I could filter that, but I don't think so. What is that? Well, hello. I've seen all sorts of spiders today. Alright, well, I made it back to the shelter, and I'm not going to talk long because it's hot, and so I need to get moving, and my car is calling out to me with its beautiful air conditioner. And so, but I did just want to address one of my fears that I didn't realize I had until I realized I had it. And so I knew I needed to conquer it before I hiked the Appalachian Trail. So when I was out here at Ferdinand Forest, I guess it was a few months back here, so I wanted to climb the fire tower, and it was windy, and I only got halfway up and kind of froze. And I've never had a problem with heights. Now I take that back. When I was hiking in California and getting ready to go up Half Dome, I froze at a moment there, and I do believe that was because I saw someone slip, and then their water bottle went clunk, 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 clunk down the mountain. And then I said, nope, and I turned around and went down and said, I'm not doing this. Actually, I sat down on the mountain and said, for a moment, and then went down and said, I'm not doing this. But since then, I haven't had any problems climbing mountains. I mean, tall mountains. And so, I don't know, I attributed it to maybe it being a man-made structure and it being rickety. You know, when I first went up that first flight of steps and it being a little rickety and then the wind blowing, and maybe it was hard for me to put my faith in a man-made structure. I don't know. I was trying to figure out why that was. But I told myself that I needed to conquer this fear because there are going to be so many fire towers on the Appalachian Trail, and I'm going to want to go up in them. So I talked to one of my friends who just happens to work at a tank and tower company, and he was kind enough to reassure me of some of my fears about that. And then I just put this back on schedule and said, I need to come out here and, you know, conquer this. And is this really a legitimate fear? Or is this just something, I mean, is this really something that I need to say? There's a reason not to climb this, because I do believe that there are warnings that God gives us that says, don't do this, you know, danger, danger, and we need to listen to that and don't do that. But then there are things that are just us being fears that are not validated, and that was an unvalidated fear of mine that I was letting get in the way. So I came back, and yay, you know, with much prayer, and God helped me get up that and conquer that, and I am humbled and thankful and very grateful, I think is the word I use at the moment. So now I've heard that there are fire towers that I should not even attempt on the AT. And so I will definitely listen to the comments and far out on that and obey those. But I'm excited to have conquered one of those. Now, another one of my fears, though, I'm going to lay it out there, and I'll probably do a whole video on some of the fears that I have, rational and irrational fears. But I encountered a lot of spiders today. But this is their home, and I had to, you know, this is their home. So, and I did get bit by one. So hopefully non-venomous. We'll find out if it swells up, but it is what it is, because this is their home and they're being kind enough to let me walk through it. So this is nature, and I'm thankful for every moment in it. So I'm signing off for now, and because it is hot out here. But I'm thankful and grateful, and I'd love to hear some of your fears, because I do think that a lot of times some of our fears we can help each other. Like I had a friend who helped calm me and tell me, you know, why I shouldn't be scared of fire towers. So I'd love to hear some of yours, and how we can help encourage each other to not be afraid. So till next time, bye.